Today we're making stuffed bell peppers. First thing to do, take your peppers, you gotta clean them. Just cut the top off like a pumpkin, so that way you got some shit in there. Comes out real easy. Just reach in with your fingers and break the lighter colored, almost white, if you've never played with bell peppers before. Like that. Dump that out in the garbage disposal also. The few little seeds that are in there are okay. They are edible, but sometimes if you have too many of them, it makes it hot tasting. If your bell peppers have a sticker from the grocery store, peel that off too. You will need a dish of some sort. A lot of people use metal ones and then put tin foil over it. That's a lot of work. This is real easy cooking. We use a glass dish with a lid. And you can put them in there. Once again, peel stickers. Oh, this one got double stickers. Someone really loved this one. Cut the top off. Throw the top away. Shake out the guts. Number 2 done. There's 3 of us, so that's why we're eating 3 of them. Typically, I find 4 peppers at a time. This recipe calls for 4. The bowl uses 4, so the 4th one keeps them all standing upright. So these might fall over. But they'll still be edible even if they fall over. They'll just be less presentational. Is that a word? Presentational? Presentation will suck. How about that? Don't expect for this to be a pretty food today. Alright. We'll line these up in here where they kind of naturally want to stand. Now, get that out of the way. I got water boiling for the rice, and we have to cook 1 pound of ground beef. One pound of ground beef. Wash off my hand. You want to brown your ground beef. Assume everyone's familiar with how to brown ground beef by now. While that's cooking, we can get the rice going. We're cooking half a cup of rice. And we're still gonna have extra then. For most meals I use jasmine rice. I find the way it opens up is better and it tastes slightly better than other rices. I already put salt in the water, so just add the half cup of rice, stir it up. As you notice, how much water do you add for half a cup of rice? A bunch, it doesn't matter. I always free boil my rice. It's as much water as you got boiling, add some rice to it. It doesn't stick that way. This is mainly just pull the cover off. Deplastic it, which is damn safety seals. Ugh, I hate getting them. Ha! Smarter than plastic. So now here's a tip. The beef, you can see, like on this piece here, it's browning on the edge. which means it's fully browned on the bottom. And you see just the red in the middle and browning coming in from the sides, it's time to flip it over. So just go in and flip them. Don't break it up, just flip it. Not all of it will flip. Some of them will, like this mean one, will flip back the wrong way. And you don't worry too much about it, as long as you get the majority of it flipped. Reason being, because now that the majority of it's flipped and we've set for a little bit, we can come back with our edge of our spatula and start breaking it all apart. Break apart the big chunks, no matter if it flipped or didn't. And let that cook a little bit more. Stir our rice. Pre-boiled rice does make some bubbles when the lid's on it. I don't always use a lid, but I didn't want to steam up the entire house, so lid it is. You can see how it's just freely boiling. And if you look at the water closely, you can see some of the rice kernels or grains are flowing up into the water. That's why they don't stick, because they're not touching any of the other rice long enough to stick to them. I hate sticky rice. I tried using one of those hamburger cooker things. They're like a spatula that make an X, so you can stab it all like this. Didn't work for shit. Obviously, that's why I'm still using a spatula. And just keep turning it over and chopping up the big pieces. Not just stabbing in the same spot. I'm working my way around the pan, searching for the bigger chunks of hamburger. Who else holds a spatula upside down when they use it? I can't be the only person that uses one like this. Or not a food turner, as my home ec teacher would have insisted that we called them. This is a food turner. A spatula was basically a flat, rounded butter knife for cleaning off the top of measuring cups. Home ec is dumb. Watch my shows instead. You'll learn to cook better. Most of the water's out of the ground beef now. And there's very little fat in this one. Number 49 was a good one. Stir my rice. It's getting there. You can tell by the size of the kernels or grains as they break up. They'll swell up and get bigger. Broke up to the right size now. Now it's just a matter of cooking it till they turn brown without burning it. You want dark brown, not black. Not solid mass. No smoke. So the trick is you just keep it moving. If your water is already boiling, hamburger and rice cook about the same time. That's a little tip for you. You saw that I added the rice slightly before I added the ground beef. Ground beef is almost done. Rice is almost done. Perfect. So cooking is all about timing. How much time do you cook? How much time do you have before the next step? How much time for this? And after a while you just do it and it works out perfect all the time. See? Time again. Bam. Alright, you can kind of see the color differences between what's browned and what isn't in some areas. Where before it was all one color, now we're getting multiple colors. You'll add a variety of flavors to the meat, and you'll taste it more. Okay, that looks about done. Turn off the heat. Time the pan cools down, the rice will be done. Yep, rice is done. Drain off the rice real quick. Alright, add 1 rice bowl. It's half a cup of cooked rice to 1 pound of ground beef. You could also add a chopped onion if you wanted. You could add a lot of things, I guess. I've seen some crazy other recipes with people adding things that should never be added to it. But that's up to you to figure out what you like to add to it. Now, we take about half a jar of spaghetti sauce. You could use your own sauces and render it down, some tomato juice and stuff, but once again, real easy cooking. Mix this all together. More sauce, still a little dry. Okay, up to 2/3 a jar of sauce. Alright, now we add 1 small container of ricotta cheese. This is very important. You can never have too much cheese. Okay, you can have too much cheese, but you know, we live in Wisconsin, so I think that's against the law. We mix this all in. And this is when it starts looking disgusting. We're going to add some paprika. Wrong side. Heavy dusting. So that's about a half a teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon. A little bit of chili powder. It'll just add a little bit of extra flavor to it, take away some of the blandness of the rice. We'll first stir this in so we don't get a flavor packet, shall we call it. That's when you bite into something and there's like one little round ball of spices all stuck together. Fucking disgusting. Means they didn't stir their food proper. A few seconds prevents that. Now, add same thing, dusting of chili powder, lighter than paprika, because you know, paprika is better than chili powder. About like that. You figure out how much that was. Alright, now let's stuff some peppers. Let's stuff them peppers. Using the same spoon, hopefully. And we just mush it, pour it right in. Just pour it right in. Who's a hungry pepper? You a hungry pepper? Here you go, have some food. It's like your mama bird feeding the peppers. Okay, now they're mostly full, but not completely full. Sometimes you can shake it down into the bottom more. Because there'll be cavities down at the bottom where the upward parts that were holding all the seeds are. So if you do that, you can fill those voids. Now, one of the advantages to using a lid is we can put partial cheese on now. Let me wash my hands off. I got goo on my hands. If we weren't doing it in a lid, glass jar lid, we wouldn't be able to put any of the cheese on until halfway through, because it would all just burn into place and dry out. But since there's a glass lid, we don't have to worry about it burning. Well, burning, yes, but drying out, not so much so. And try to position them so that they stand upright against each other. We'll add more cheese after it cooks. The oven's set for 375, and we put it in there for 30 minutes or so. We'll be back in 30 minutes. Till then, I'm going to clean up my mess I made. Okay, it's been about 45 minutes at 375 degrees in the glass bowl with a glass lid on it. They should be done. Technically, everything in it was already food safe when it was cooked or put in the oven. The hamburger, cheese, peppers you can eat raw. And you can see that the color has changed perfectly on them. They're no longer bright green, now they got the tanner green. They're sizzling nice, still hot. I'm going to plate one up. See if I can scoop this up without burning the hell out of myself. Oh, should let it cool down a little bit. Let it cool a little bit, the meat will harden up a little bit, become firmer. There's that. We add a little pepper, a little salt, and once again, we're in Wisconsin, so everything's better with a little bit of cheese on it. And it's real easy cooking with Robert, and I'm done. Okay, since you're complaining, I'll prove to you it's not poisoned, it's good. It's just that it was literally too hot for me to eat right then. Not the most pretty meal, but damn does this taste good.